Hi guys, it's Amy with A2Z Stamping, and today I'm going to make you a card using the Bunch of Blossoms stamp set. This stamp set does have a coordinating punch, the Blossom Builder punch, so I'll be using that today too. This is a really simple card, but the Blossom Builder punch makes the most beautiful flowers, but it does take a little bit of time, so I thought I'd show you my process. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we have some stamping to do in order to make our blossom. But I'm actually going to start with my sentiment is going to be the thank you very much. So I'm going to grab that out. Thank you very much. I'm going to start with that. And I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock here. It's just cut at 1 by 3.5. And I have some Sweet Sugar Plum ink. And let's get this onto a block. Thank you very much. And since this is photopolymer, I'm going to put a foam mat underneath. And I'm just going to stamp this, let's see, like right kind of in the center, but over to the left a little bit. Thank you very much. And lift. All right. And actually, I don't like how that stamps, so I'm going to stamp it one more time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and lift. Perfect. All right, and let me grab my scrub here and clean that off. Okay, and now we're gonna build our flower, so I'm gonna set that aside. So I have a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock here, and as you can see on the flower builder punch, we have this large, I don't know if you can see that very well with the reflection, but there's a large leaf, then there's a smaller one, there's this little guy and this little guy, and they line up here. So first I'm gonna be stamping these, and then we're going to need some this size, and then I'm going to do one of the stars. And these are 2-step stamps, actually 3-step. So I'm going to, but I'm only going to do 2 steps. So for the first petal right here, I'm going to be doing these 2. So that is our 2 biggest ones. So I'm going to do the solid one, and then the one, so this, the kind of solid looking one, and then this one right here. And I'm going to start with the solid looking one. And I need a piece of background paper because we're going to stamp off. Okay, so let me get this onto my block. And I'm going to do it all in Sweet Sugar Plum, but you could do it in different colors. But to get that effect, I'm just going to stamp off once. And I need, let's see, I need 5 petals. So I'm just going to stamp off, and then I'm just going to stamp them. Let's see, they go. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I need 5 of those. Clean this off. Excuse me. And then this one. And now I'm going to stamp this one in full strength right over the top. So 1, 2, 3. See how it gives us the 2-tone look, even though I'm using the same color ink. 4 and 5. I'm going kind of quick here. If I want it to be really precise, you just, really need to get over and line it right up. Okay, so there's those 5. All right, and then I need the next size petal, which would be, I'm actually going to do this one right here. So I'm going to do these 2. So that would be, let's see, this one and this one. Flip them over. And again, I'm going to do the dark one first. And where does this one fit on? Okay, actually, I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller. I don't need it quite as wide. So I'm just going to cut myself a strip here. And I'll show you why that matters in a second. Okay, so again, stamp off, and I'm going to go 1. And I'll show you why I'm stamping them sideways in a second too. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Clean that off. And now for the second one. And this one will be full strength. So we're going to just line it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love Sweet Sugar Plum. I'm going to miss it so much. Okay, did you know it's one of the colors that's retiring? It's only here through May 31st. Okay, and then for the last one, I want the little star, and I just need one of these. So I'm going to grab that. And I'm not even going to do the two-step. I'm just going to stamp it once. I'm going to grab this one right here. And I need let me just grab a scrap piece. There's a scrap piece. And I just need one of these in full strength. Okay. And now we can close this. Okay, and let me get all of these back in just so I don't lose any of them. Get these all back in here. All right. Close that up. Get this aside. All right, so now with our punch, actually let's go ahead and punch the star out first since I've got that here. So I'm just gonna line that up with the star right there. And punch that out. Okay, now see how I get a lot of extra pieces? That's just all garbage. Okay, now you see on my punch here, the second leaf we did this one, see how it's going sideways here? So that's why I stamped them sideways. So I can feed this in, line it up this way, and I have less mess and I'm wasting less paper that way too. So one, let's see if I can get them all. Two. I know there's some really, smart people who can figure out how to stamp on the page, so stamp all 4 out at one time. But that didn't, I actually tried that once. That didn't really work for me because I didn't need equal numbers of everything. So I found this method to be the best. Okay. All right, so make sure, actually I only needed 4 of those. That's okay. We've got 5 and I only needed 4. Okay, so move these scraps out of the way. Don't throw this away. So I'll just keep 4 of these. We'll get rid of that one. Okay, and then the 5 of these. So same thing. So this one, these line up this way. So you just gotta make sure you stamp it right. So see, I don't want that to cut off. So let's try it from this direction. And I need to hold the stamp this way. There we go, that's gonna be better for me. Okay, so we got 1, 2, sorry guys if you can't see that real well. I need to line them up so I can see it. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and the last one. So see, that's why the strips work better, the thin strips, rather than like a square or rectangle piece. And you want to stamp them the way they're facing on there so that you could feed it through and have the least amount of waste. Okay, so let me just get rid of all of this, all these little scraps. Okay, and now we got to put our flower together. So actually, hold on to one of the little pieces that you've punched out, or punch a little extra piece. Let's see, I'm gonna just punch something extra right here. Hold on to like just a big extra scrap, and I'll show you why. Okay, so I'm gonna use this as my base. And I like to use just our multi-purpose glue. That works well for me. It's my favorite one to use. Okay, and I'm gonna put some down right there. And I'm gonna start with these 5, and we're just gonna, let me get the glue all over, and we're just gonna line it up on here. So these 5, they're gonna overlap a little, but don't go too far into the center when you're building your blossom. So it'll be showing there will be some space showing in the center, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And let me just get a little more glue down right here. And this doesn't dry, super speedy fast. So now we have some time to sort of move our petals around how we want it. Okay. I'll actually move that one over a little. And now I'm going to do a little bit more glue and do my 4 petals. And I like to just kind of try to cover over the seams a little. And you could do 5 petals here. I just like to do less and less. Let's see. So we've got our 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally in the center here, I'm going to put our little star. And then to finish off, let me close my glue. I'm going to stick a little pearl in the center. So let me grab the pearls, and let me grab a pearl here. See, my pearls are all cut apart. Okay. Now I'm going to put a pearl right in the middle, and there is my blossom. Isn't that so pretty? And I can still move it around a little if I need to adjust. Okay, press to hold. And that is my blossom. Isn't that so pretty? And you could put it together with dimensionals underneath too you know, obviously to give it some dimension. Okay, so I'll let that dry just for a quick second while we put our card together. Okay, so with our thank you very much, I'm going to grab the triple banner punch, and I want to make this into a banner. Let me make sure. So let me feed that in there. And actually, I don't want to go all the way because I don't want to cut that much off, so I'm going to go about halfway. About halfway, and I'm going to cut that off. Thank you very much. Okay, and then I have a piece of Sweet Sugar Plum cardstock, and this one's cut at 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. It was just a little bit bigger than that. So again, I'm going to feed this in here, and I don't want to cut it all the way, so I'm going to do the half again. Okay, let's get this lined up in here. Okay, like so. Okay, and let's see if these line up right. Perfect. All right, and I'm going to get this lined up on here. Okay. All right. All right, the next thing I want to do is I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock here. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I want to emboss it with this, with the Ruffles embossing folder. So I'm just going to put this right in here. And let me grab my Big Shot here. And I just have my platform. I'm going to lay this right on the platform. Put a cutting plate, or put a plate right on top, and I'm just going to run it through. All right, put this back. And voila, look at that. Isn't that so cool? It's Ruffles. I love that. Okay. All right, so for my card base, I'm using a piece of Sweet Sugar Plum cardstock, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Go ahead and fold that over. Here's my bone folder. Okay. And whenever I am adhering something that's been embossed, you can use snail. Make sure you do all 4 sides. I like to use fast fuse just so I make sure it stays down really well. Just make sure, remember, fast fuse is not repositionable, so when you stick it on, you got to be right the first time. Okay, so decide what way you want your ruffles to go. Line it up, and on it goes. Isn't that pretty? All right, so now we're going to take our banner here, and we're going to put this right like so. And actually, I think our banner might be a little bit too wide because it's going to go like this. Let's see, with our flower right here. Actually, you know what? We can make it work. All right, so again, I'm going to put fast fuse on the banner since I'm putting it on top of something that is embossed. Okay, and I'm going to line this up all the way to the, actually, I'm going to go over the edge like so. Okay, and then on the back of my flower, I'm going to stick some fast fuse. It's still a little bit wet on the back, and that's okay because it'll actually dry onto here. And decide which way I want this to go. And I think it's going to go just like that, perfectly. And that is my card. Isn't that so sweet? Look how pretty that is. And here's what I did earlier. So this flower is a little tiny bit different. I actually used some rich raspberry in here with this one. This one I did all Sweet Sugar Plum. This one I did a little bit of rich raspberry along with the Sweet Sugar Plum. So you see there's a slight difference. And even though it's the same amount of petals, this flower is a little bit bigger just because I didn't tuck them in as much as I did on this one. But isn't that so pretty? And of course you can see that my banner is a little bit smaller here. But I love how this turned out. You guys definitely check out the Bunch of Blossom stamp set, but this Blossom Builder Punch is so much fun to use. It makes the most beautiful flowers. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check me out on YouTube, or subscribe to my YouTube channel and find my Facebook group, guys. It's A2Z Stamping. Thanks. Bye.